I can't stop eating this. I'm sorry. I'll stop with that. The pork, this is so good. You got some Korean chat? Yes, I would though. I would love an Asian baby, a half Asian one, with me, my fuck on it. Mm-hmm. Any kind of Asian. Knock up an Asian bitch. Right up my alley. That's good stuff. Or a black girl. Mm-hmm. Or even better, a half black girl and just have a sort of African baby. So fucking hot. Some African bitch. You know who I want. You know who I'm thinking of. Bitch like that. A Costa Rican. A big fat Peruvian bitch. I don't even care anymore. But I think they'd be beautiful if I put my fuck in it. Mm-hmm. Marcelo was the guy that they fucking abducted and dropped out of a fucking plane into like the Amazon or something. And he was lost for 3 days in the fucking jungle. And he was known for saying, 2 people can keep a secret if one of them are dead. They also called Carlos Marcelo the head because he had a big giant fucking bulldog head, and the head of the family. And they used to say in the proverb is if you cut the tail, if you cut off the head, the thing dies eventually. And the tail will die. Kind of like that, what is it? Ouroboros? Yeah, that's how you kill it, Cut the head off the tail. It's like a Nepalese proverb. And Gigante, from what I've read, was fucking crazy. The Don, who was like me, that just wore his pajamas, left the house like that. But he was in a big fucking city. But he would always be doing that. And people were trying to figure out if he was crazy or not. He was fucking crazy. I think in ways that me and you'd understand because the guy was ruthless and he ordered so many fucking hits. And he was totally unforgiving, they say. Just brutal. Executioner in the mafia. And it makes you wonder. He was so paranoid about the government. He used to periodically check himself in the mental hospitals. Every time he got paranoid or every time there was a legitimate, investigation going on. When I listened to his daughter, Rita Gigante, talk, I finally made up my mind that all children of the mafia are all PTSD. Made up my mind completely. After reading Victoria Gotti, listening to John Gotti Jr., listening to Karen Gravano, listening to all these kids, even fucking Gene Barra, all these kids, they all have PTSD whether or not they know it. Or anxiety disorders. I have the same thing. They've been telling me that since I was 24 years old. You have PTSD and severe anxiety. Who am I to argue with them? That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know where I got that shit from. I think when you grow up in the secrets and you're not allowed to ask questions, because you get raised that way. You don't get in your parents' business. You know something's going on, but you don't know. It gives you some kind of anxiety because you don't know if tomorrow's going to come or not, or whatever. Rita Gigante said it was kind of like a lot of people I've heard say these same things. The windows were barred. The house was dim. You know, he had so many dogs. They lived in one room and crapped all over, and it drove Rita fucking crazy. Plus, on top of it, Rita was gay, and she came out to her father, the Chin Gigante, who she says was a great dad. She loves her father. And they said to her, you know, it'll pass. These are just feelings. And Rita's like, yeah, but I'm fucking gay. I mean, I already know this. It's not going to pass. It made her suicidal almost. And if you look at Rita, she's a little bit fucking crazy too. But not really crazy in the way that the Chin Gigante maybe wanted you to think he was. You know? I think he was legitimately... They said that, and they watched him. The Chin Gigante, I mean, how fucking crazy was he? This is the shit he was talking about. They watched him live a double life and go over to his girlfriend's house, and they were watching him through the fucking windows. And they were watching how he conducted himself. And they're like, he's in there just living an ordinary day. Sometimes we see him tabulating money at the money machine. This is what I've heard. And this is what I've read. And they say sometimes he'd be dressed to the nines. I was like, I doubt that. Something tells me he was just a lazy, crazy fuck like me, and he was just like that. You know? He didn't want to be bothered. He'll do anything to fucking avoid going crazy himself. You know?